Here we go.
Yes, people. What's going on? It's EGL Talks Football, and we're back again with another video. And today we're back with the Arsenal Informer updates. I should basically call these the Arsenal Informer updates because we have you on once a week to talk Arsenal transfer news and all the latest transfer news and everything else. So big up to everyone in the comment section. Big up to everyone. If you guys haven't heard and you've been living under a rock, Declan Rice bid has gone in once again. We're going to talk about it. Kai Havertz bid has gone in once again. We're going to talk about it. There's been a new link to a player, as yesterday David Ornstein reported at 11:40 when I did my stream, that Timber has been linked to Arsenal. So we're yelling Timber. Anyways, it is what it is. We got the Gundogan story, and I'm starting to give up on the Gundogan story, but we're going to talk about that. Lavia, and what is Edu cooking, people? Is Edu cooking, or is this old news that people are just making it, bringing it back every 2 seconds? But yo, Arsenal Informer, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good, man, as always. Good to be back on the channel. Hopefully give you guys an update and some insights into a few things. So I'm looking forward to getting to it. There
you go. So I think we got to start with the big boys. But we're going to start with the Timber news because that kind of came from nowhere. How did you know about the Timber news before yesterday?
No clue. Literally, I was really surprised. I went to bed quite early last night. I was really tired, and Ornstein dropped the bomb at like 11. So I woke up this morning to the news, and I was really surprised. What's really interesting about this one is that a lot of people didn't know about it. I had no clue. I was speaking to some people that are close to Arsenal and close to the club. They had no clue either. I think this is quite a low-key deal that Edu and Arteta were working on. But I'm not sure why it's been sort of leaked to the press. I know Ornstein's kind of the mouthpiece for Arsenal when he was the first person to have sort of dabs on it and release it, which is really interesting because I had a lot of people speaking to me today and sort of I see replying to Ornstein's thing and worrying in sort of group chats, etc. as why would Arsenal release this news if it brings in interest from other clubs? Like, we're kind of putting a target on our back here by releasing this information, some people were saying. So it's interesting. I don't know why it got released. If Arsenal wanted to keep it low key, and now they're trying to, I don't know, do some sort of PR move. But yeah, a really top player, really interesting one to come. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Immediately when I seen this, I was like, former Manchester United target. You know what? We should not be really putting ourselves out there too much. And I think Teams News Ticks was the first person I seen really go and say, why would Arsenal really release this information?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there.
Are you worried about this, or do you think we're gonna now lose the player potentially?
Of course there is some concern, obviously, with the Martinez stuff. Obviously, another Ajax player that we was linked to that then went to Man United. There's always a concern there that other clubs can now see this news and inquire about the player. This happens a lot when news gets released on a certain player. There'll be a lot of clubs inquiring to the agent and going, or the actual club itself going, how much is it for X player? How advanced is it with Arsenal? Is there a window of opportunity here? It's sort of like an alarm bell, sort of like a Batman signal that you put up. It can be slightly concerning, but I think if it's really advanced and the player really wants Arsenal and then there's personal terms agreed, then that sort of shuts the door to some other opportunities. So maybe Arsenal release that sort of as a morale boost. I'm not too sure. As I said, this was something that I didn't know about. I'm not going to come on here and go, oh yeah, I knew about it, I weren't releasing it. 100% I didn't know about this. It was a shock to me and shock to a lot of people in my circles. So yeah, it's an interesting one, really is.
This is why David Ornstein is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT, man.
David Ornstein is the legitimate, like, tier one of tier ones when it comes to Arsenal. Nothing.
Yeah, man, he's top.
Nobody can question him. Like, as much as I'm not one of these guys who gets on to other journalists, unless you're Steve. You're not a real journalist. You're just a liar. But everyone else, they got their own way of doing things. Like, Fabrizio Romano no longer is the guy who comes out with the most exclusives on clubs. He's kind of just like, he's kind of the stamp of approval that everything's going to happen, but he's not really the guy he's like, you know how Sky Sports used to be the approval? Everyone would go to Sky Sports and know it's done. That's who he is now. But the actual breaking news usually happens from other people. And David Ornstein's been breaking a lot of Arsenal news.
Yeah, respect to Ornstein. No, he comes through with a lot of fresh content. And yeah, I know a lot of people giving Fabrizio stick for sort of becoming that sort of like a bit more of like an aggregator rather than confirmation. But I think it's also to note that I've heard some sort of talk on this is that Arsenal over the last few years since Arteta has come in and wants to reduce leaks has shut the door on people like Fabrizio and other journalists to try and stop leaks. And I think they use David Ornstein as their main sort of mouthpiece if they want to put like leak something or put some information out there. So I think that's why when it comes to Arsenal news, you won't see Fabrizio reporting anything exclusive. It's usually as first reported by X person like Ornstein, for example.
Fair enough. Just quickly, just talk about the versatility of the player, the fact that the guy is an absolute G. Like we've been linked to him. We've never been linked to him before this, but we've seen Manchester United heavily linked to him. We've seen some other clubs also linked to him before. Timber's a quality player, and his versatility and his ability to play right back, center back, and just be good on the ball, his aggressiveness, all these things are some of the key reasons why we're signing him. So I'm quite excited about this signing. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think when you look at some of the potential options and some of the options that we'll have at defence next season, I think the drop-off in quality will be really slim. Obviously, you've got Tomiyasu, we'll have Saliba, Gabriel, potentially like a Simican or Timbers, Ben White. Like when you start listing these players out, they're all players that will come in at any sort of Premier League club. So I think Arsenal as well trying to avoid what happened last season where a key defender unfortunately got injured and it ruined our title chances. So props to Arsenal for going in again this summer for a defender.
There you go. Then there was the news from, I'm going to go in chronicle order. Then there was the news from about Kai Havertz, if I'm not mistaken, from Samuel Bell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Sammy, yeah.
So what Sam had to say about Kai Havertz was that we're going in with a £60 million bid, 55 plus 5 million add-ons. So what do you think? Do you think they reject that? What are we saying? Because and let me know a little bit about what you think about the deal. Because I know a lot of people know my opinions of Kai Havertz, and I'm not too fond of him. But guess what? If we can get the deal done and we can give him the 200K or whatever it is, and just get this over and done with, I'll be happy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so in terms of the Kai Havertz deal, from what I know and understand, this deal is very advanced. There is, as reported first by Sammy, there is a £60 million offer currently on the table. As far as I'm concerned, there's been no sort of communication yet. I think maybe later today, there's been some holding off and waiting to see with Chelsea. So they left the meeting with that offer on the table. I know that for a fact. There was no sort of agreement reached in that meeting. That fee is there on the table. That £60 million. I
thought they said verbal agreement though.
Verbal offer. It wasn't agreement. It was just an offer. Yes.
My apologies.
No, it's all good, man. So yes, there's that 60 million on the table. From what I know, Chelsea walked away from that meeting and said, pretty much, to summarise, thanks very much. We'll come back to you with what we're thinking. So I'm talking to other people that I know around Arsenal and sort of the Chelsea scene, with sort of the financial fair play thing going on and them selling 3 of their players potentially to the Saudi League. I think they're going to wait and see how that progresses. And if they need to sell Kai urgently before that 30th of June deadline, they'll do the 60. But if they feel like they're in a comfortable position with the deadline, they probably will push for a higher asking price. So we'll have to see what happens on this one. But I know for a fact it's very advanced. If all going well, I think he'll be an Arsenal player.
People are saying, what's Egal cooking? Listen, guys, I'm cooking something special today. We got you guys a great show. But do me a favor, hit that goddamn like button, hit that subscribe button. We currently have 111 of you guys in the comment section, and we only have 17 likes. What is going on, people? What is going on? So the question I'm going to ask to everybody in the comment section is, will Chelsea accept the £60 million for Kai Havertz? Let me know what you guys think.
Let's see what everyone says.
I think surely £60 million has to be enough.
I know they wanted 70 to 75 million initially. So yeah, it's as I said, it's like a juggling game really when it comes to transfers, and the directors and everyone involved at the top. Obviously, they want to maximise what they get for a player, but also there's a potential that they're going to walk away. I do think, however...
You're saying the Saudi money
Yeah.
is negatively affecting Arsenal's ability to get this deal done?
Inadvertently, yes. Which is pretty crazy.
Doesn't he want to leave?
He wants to leave, yeah. That is definite. He's made it very clear to Chelsea that he wants to leave.
So in the case that he wants to leave, will Chelsea accept the 60 million, do you think? This is a guess, of course. This is not
Yeah, of course. I think that from what I know, as I said earlier, I think this, don't quote me on this, because I think personally, I think the deal is done. I think the deal is probably going to be done. I also know that from a person close to the player, a friend of the player, that he's looking for accommodation close to Colney. If you look where the Chelsea training ground where Colney is, it's sort of North London and sort of like South London-ish is where the Chelsea is. It's about a 45-minute drive in between it. So he can't commute. It might be a bit annoying to commute 45 minutes every day by car. So despite him being on international break, his team are looking for accommodation. I've been assured that and been told. So I don't think he'd be looking for something like that if the deal wasn't very advanced. So, yeah, personally, I think this deal will be done unless you never know. Chelsea could go, no, we want 65. Arsenal could be stubborn and go, well, see you later. We're walking away from this deal, and then it's all done. But I think in the way things are progressing, and with Kai Havertz wanting to move, I think it should go through.
Okay, so we gotta talk about this Saudi Arabian Chelsea link that they got, because really and truly, this has taken over the internet.
Yeah.
Chelsea are currently negotiating with Koulibaly, Ziyech, Lukaku, Mendy, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Kante. So you're telling me this is something that's actually somewhat holding up the Havertz deal, because depending on how much money they can earn from these players, by the way, Kante's left on a free, Aubameyang's probably going to go on a free. It's really just going to be these four.
Yeah,
that they're going to make money off of. So do you think they can make enough money where they won't need to sell Havertz for 60 million? Because 60 million is more than they're going to get for any of these guys. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I think Koulibaly is quite advanced. So is obviously Kante's a free, but that's an advanced stage anyway. And Ziyech as well. I think this one's really difficult because it's a lot of if, buts, and maybes. But yeah, I know that there has been some discussions as to reasons why that bid was not accepted straight away and why they walked away from that meeting, and sort of said we need to think about this because, yeah, whatever happens with this deal, we'll probably know the outcome before the 30th of June. That's probably the deadline for this deal. I think we'll know either way whether it will happen or it won't happen by the 30th. But personally, and I don't want to look down on the Saudi project. I think, props to them for being incredibly ambitious in this, but I think it is probably affecting certain things and probably inflating certain figures. You got to think about the market as a whole generally as well. Like when people are saying, oh, okay, I tell you what, if you're not going to pay for this player, we'll sell him to the Saudis for X figure, 10 million above what you're doing. You need to push it to 65. And then that inflates every single player. And then you've got traditional owners such as, I don't know, the Brentfords and the Brentfords and the Brightons that just run their clubs really well. They're losing out because the market's now inflated, and the owners who are obviously sort of worth billions, they can't sort of afford the players that they was going to. So
let's talk about Saudi, because apparently Saudi are even interested in Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
As Lorenzo,
this is from Lorenzo. Big up Lorenzo.
Lorenzo had this tweet out. We even had another one here from Ryan Taylor saying certain clubs in thing. Ryan Taylor once again talking about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of reporting around the same thing, and I'm personally concerned. I don't want to sell him.
Yeah. I know for a fact that people close to Thomas Partey, they're focused on Europe, and also they would like to stay at Arsenal I think it's more a case of money and what Arteta wants. Yeah, so that's as far as I know on that. I don't think Partey wants to leave. It depends what Arteta thinks, and also on sort of the monetary side of things. But as things stand, Thomas Partey would like to stay at Arsenal.
Has there been any reports of concrete links of an individual club that actually want to bid for him?
There were some Italian clubs a few weeks ago that were reportedly in for him. Some Serie A clubs. That's as far as I know in terms of links. I'm not sure if it's anything concrete because it hasn't come forward of it hasn't progressed.
I'm not too concerned at this moment in time that Thomas Partey can leave. But let me know, would you be okay with Thomas Partey leaving if we signed Declan Rice and Romeo Lavia and Kai Havertz?
Personally, I wouldn't. I think you've got to be very careful switching out all your midfield, bearing in mind that we've got a really solid base there currently, which was challenging for the league anyway. So I think it's really important just to slowly integrate these players and not switch out your midfield completely, what happens with Chelsea or other teams in the past where they completely switch their midfield, changes their play, and then they just sink to the bottom. So yeah, I agree with you, Miguel. Yeah, I don't think you should go.
Any news on Timber? We've already spoken about Timber, my friend. The bid has been rejected. We might go back in. We'll have to wait and see. People calling Arteta and Edu a joke for getting Havertz. Well, there was a report yesterday about how we plan on using Havertz. Did you see that?
Yeah, ESPN. Yeah, it was a really interesting article.
I think Z was the first one to report to tweet about it.
I think it was the 8-10 role, wasn't it?
8 and 10, yeah. So based on that, I kind of get it. He does have some attributes that definitely would benefit us in that situation, in that kind of position, and he can make late runs into the box. He's quite tall. The only thing I worry about is imagine Zinchenko and him on the same end of the pitch defensively.
It's a very good point.
That is my only defensive worry. But really and truly, this is what people are saying it's going to look like, based on predictions from yesterday. I'm just going to pop it on the screen. That's how they're saying we might set up with Kai Havertz.
Yeah, that's very attacking minded. You're right, and you're bearing in mind as well if Havertz is playing in that sort of 8 role, that sort of box to box kind of in a weird way, even though he's not really. On the sort of on the counter attack, and on the sort of converting of play, we might be caught out because really you've only really got 4 sort of defensive minded players in Rice, Gabriel, Saliba, and White, which can be a bit risky.
It's more of when we're in attack. It's more of it seems more of a 4-2-4. Because really and truly, Havertz and Odegaard, only one of them are going to be getting back and helping out defensively. The other one is going to be more or less further up the pitch. And I think this is going to now get Odegaard away from getting as many goals and assists and more of a deep line player closer to the DM.
Yeah, no, it could be. I think with this, it's a difficult one to call because Arteta's tactics can be, not strange, but he can throw a few things like what he did where he put Partey at right back for the end of the back end of the season.
Yeah, this is what they're talking about there. So as we just run through some of these things, the next thing we needed to talk about, of course, is Romeo Lavia. And Fabrizio Romano didn't cover everything. So if there's any information that you've read or I've read, we'll add it on top. But this was, I didn't see any other reports, but who reported that personal terms were done? Because apparently personal terms are done. Arsenal understand to be advancing in Romeo Lavia negotiations. Yeah. Southampton wants a record fee for under 21-year-old, which is around 50 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
Manchester United are interested in Mount. I don't know what that has to do with anything with Lavia. Chelsea are keeping an eye on Lavia. I'm quite concerned that Chelsea might come in heavy for Lavia, and Man City do have a 40 million buyback clause. So Romeo Lavia for around 50 million. I'll say this: he's not performed as well as Caicedo. But for a cheaper and younger version of Caicedo, he does have a lot of upside. Is he ready to play right away every single game of the season for us? I don't think so. I think it's crucial that we keep Jorginho and Partey to give this guy some opportunities to have rest because I don't know if he can play the whole season at the level that we need him to yet. He's still extremely young. So even though we're spending 50 million, I view him as more of a high upside guarantee in the future.
Project player.
Yeah, but in the same breath, he's not Lokonga. Like, you know what I mean? He's more like when we got Gabriel Magalhaes or when we got Saliba. We knew we were paying a little bit more for a player that has not yet done anything to that level, but in the future we could be saving a lot.
And he's been in the Premier League as well, which is different from Sambi.
Course. If he was at Man City and he was playing the way that he's playing right now, he could be going for upwards of 60 million if he's a Premier League winner. But the fact that he got relegated and he's at Southampton, that's why we're getting him for 50 million potentially.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the first proposal from Arsenal will probably be another lowball offer. I'm hearing somewhere between 35 to 40. I know that the reason why Southampton won that 50 mil is because they've got a 20% sort of what's the word? Not like a commission, but they've got to give 20% because the sell-on clause has to go to Man City. 20% of the sale has to go to Man City. That's as far as I'm aware. So if they want 50, they'll pretty much get 40. So
do you think Lavia is ready to be a week in, week out player for Arsenal?
I think there's going to be a danger with sort of doing week in, week out for a player of that stature in terms of someone who is young and probably hasn't proven himself at a top club. So I think it's a very valid point that you come across there. And you're right. I think that's bang on the money. I think a project player, which has upside in the future, like we've seen with a few of the other players that we brought in, sort of. And Arteta's amazing at sort of developing young talent. So I think, it'd be a really great move.
People in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about Lavia. I had an argument today with somebody. This is not transfer related, but Caicedo or Lavia. If we were to have what's the price difference? And is Caicedo worth the difference in price?
That's a really good question. I know for Caicedo, I know Brighton want 100 million, or they're pushing for 100 million. I don't think that we'll get 100 million. And Lavia will probably go for about 50. It depends on what happens. But if, say, for example, Chelsea, Caicedo 100 million, Lavia 50 million, so you're doubling it, so it's half the sort of money. It's a tough one. It sort of depends on how you want to spend your money this window. Like if we buy Caicedo, does that affect us buying another player like Timber? Did you get what I mean? So if we do, right, so I would take a player like Timber and Lavia over Caicedo. If you get what I mean, because we got more versatility, we can cover more positions in that case.
I just wanted to proofread and check if the comment was accurate. But it's happening. Chelsea tweeted it's now off. What? I'm so confused. Kingsley, what do you mean by that? You don't have to submit another super chat if you don't want to, but just let me know what you mean by that. I'm trying to figure out what he means by his tweet.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my feed on Twitter. Isn't it? Nothing really interesting.
I literally just searched Caicedo. Nothing's coming up. So I don't think there's Chelsea and Brighton have reached an agreement on Caicedo.
Really? From what source?
Dean Jones reported it.
Just now?
Dean Jones. No real journalist updated it. It's just, the Arsenal guy.
Also, I just seen as well on my feed about Arsenal will be open for offers for Eddie Nketiah this summer.
We're going to talk about that. Dean James, AFC.
Yeah.
He tweeted this, but I don't know where his source is. His source is Aaron Dominguez. Who's Aaron Dominguez? You know what? I'm just going to wait until a real reliable source comes out with that information, because if Chelsea and Caicedo reach an agreement soon, the timeline's going to go mad. Honestly, they're going to go mad. It is what it is. What can we really do? I don't see anything legitimate, bro. I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. You want me to show you?
Yeah, sure, man.
This is what I see right now on my timeline, and it's not like a reliable source or anything like that.
Yeah, I just tried to find it, I couldn't.
So this is what I see, and this is not like a legitimate source or anything. This is the guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, me neither. So we wait and see what's happening. We can't trust everything that we see.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, then the Declan Rice stuff happened after the Lavia stuff, right? The
Yeah.
Declan Rice stuff is interesting because I think David Ornstein's tweet basically breaks it down as simple as possible. Everyone's talking about a record fee, 90 million, not giving us the breakdown, not telling us if it's going to be accepted or rejected or not. David Ornstein comes in and quickly just debunks everything and basically says it's not happening. You guys need to calm down. The 90 million is not put in the right structure that West Ham want. The 90 million is 15 million in add-ons, 75 million in cash, and then the pursuit of the 24-year-old captain. Talks with Chelsea for Kai Havertz are ongoing. The German international prefers to join Arsenal. And yeah, he basically just also tells us that Kai Havertz breakdown of his contract is 210. And yeah, it does seem like for a second I believed that the second bid would get accepted when I seen the 90 million, but I never heard any add-ons. And then when I heard the add-ons are actually including the 90 million, I'm like, they were never going to accept it. But the question is not about this transfer. It's about Edu getting a lot of criticism and a lot of heat for just doing what anybody else would do in a transfer business is you negotiate. You don't just accept whatever they want. You don't just go and say, we're going to pay exorbitant amounts of money for every single player because that club wants us to pay that kind of money. No, you have to do some level of negotiation. You have to do some level of conversation. But immediately when we see these bids and these amounts going in, you know what comes to mind? West Ham fans calling us embarrassing, people making fun of the bids, people calling us cheap. Since when is bidding 90 million for a player considered cheap? Since when is it embarrassing and pathetic? What on earth?
It's a lot of money. Like, you got to bear that in mind.
Like,
yeah.
Have people lost their minds?
Yeah, no, you're right. I think a lot of these West Ham aggregators and Twitter accounts, etc., they're just trying to look for clicks at the end of the day. They're just trying to wind us up, which is frustrating because it is annoying because they just keep banging on.
Chelsea have kept the Colombian flag on the DP just now, then removed it. Oh, Chelsea had the Colombian flag on their DP.
It's weird.
No way.
Is there a link to that or a photo we can have a look at?
I'll check.
Did anyone grab a screenshot of that? It's the first I've heard.
Chelsea's display picture. Chelsea changed their display picture.
Not anymore.
I don't even want to search Chelsea display picture. Some random stuff will come up. Anyways, we'll figure. We'll just wait with the Caicedo stuff. It's not really too concerning to what we're actually talking about on today's stream. Big up my guy Kingsley for the super chat. You've been absolutely rocking it this stream. We got Ozan Kabak in the house. Yo, I feel sorry for Liverpool fans. They thought they were going to get 3 signings through the door by now. Nothing's happened yet. Shout out Samatar Hassan in the chat. Big up my guy from all the way from Toronto, Canada, doing his thing. My guy. Igal, I send you a photo. Where? On Twitter. Send it to me. Send it to me on Twitter. If you send me a photo, send it to me on Twitter. But yeah, let's continue. What are we saying about West Ham, man? Are West Ham going to budge on their valuation? Because I seen something about the negotiation price has gone down to 100 million.
Yeah, I think initially they wanted 120 at the start of sort of the transfer window and like negotiations, which I think is crazy money. I think it's important to bear in mind as well that Declan Rice has come out and said to the West Ham board as well as Arsenal and pretty much anyone close to the deal that he wants Arsenal only. And as it was reported everywhere that West Ham wanted to auction up his price, try and get a few clubs interested, the big boys, the Man Cities, the other clubs abroad like Bayern, Man United, other sort of clubs that can pay the sort of big fees. They wanted to get them involved to auction up the price and push Arsenal and other clubs to a higher figure if there was to be an agreement there. But I think with Declan Rice making it clear that he only wants Arsenal, it gives us the upper hand. And from what I know and what has been reported, I think that West Ham have conceded their valuation of 120 and are now pushing closer to 100 in their evaluation of the player. I think if the third bid comes at 100, I think probably the deal will be done. I don't think
What would the breakdown have to be? Would it have to be the whole 100 guaranteed?
I think 90 plus 10.
So 90 plus 10. Okay. That's what was reported months ago.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different information, and it depends. You hear a lot of different things. I think this Declan Rice situation and story, there's not a lot of concrete information. Like a couple of people I speak to will say, yeah, there was a second bid that went in a few weeks back for 90. And I'll have someone tell me, no, there's only been 80. Then another person will say, no, it was 95. And then another will say 90. It's hard to trust a lot of the sources.
Is there potential to say that these deals could escalate to something better for them at another club? Because people keep worrying about Man City. People keep saying Chelsea sell all their players. They might go in for Declan Rice. Are you worried that another club might come into the picture?
No.
I am.
No, you shouldn't be. Trust me, Gal. He won't. I'm going to put my my heart and my chest on the line here. I don't think we'll go anywhere other than Arsenal. I think this is just a matter of time before he comes. As said, it's so pivotal, the player and his mindset and what he wants. He's close to his family, has got sort of his ties close to London. He wants to be in London. He doesn't even want to go up north, is what I'm told. He wants to be in London. He wants to be close to his family. He likes the project. He loves Arteta. And he's even made it clear to the board that he only wants Arsenal, which makes it incredibly complicated for West Ham when they're bargaining and charging 120, 110 initially. So that's why I think it will come down to 100, and we should submit eventually. Oh wow!
Chelsea just tweeted the Ecuador flag, Caicedo incoming. You never know. Let's wait and see.
Photoshop? I don't know. Hopefully.
I didn't see it with my own eyes, so I can't really speak. So yeah, let me just run through some of these tweets here. So of course, we've seen this bid is going to get rejected. At least 100 million is what West Ham wants. So that means their price tag is lowered. West Ham expects City to join the race. So you're not worried about him going to Man City. Of course, the 80, look at this. 80 million pounds was the original price that they thought was initially going to get the deal over the line, but things changed after they won the Conference League.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you look at that.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to these sort of deals, when you get sort of, I know in January there were some preliminary discussions, and probably that 80 million fee was discussed. And then when it comes to after that, and they're coming out saying we want 110, 120, you go, come on. What's going on here? And as well, as mentioned before, you know that the player only wants Arsenal. If anything, West Ham look like the mugs, and we are just trying to sort of keep to our word. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. It's a bad thing that we are trying 4 deals at once, because West Ham now know that we have money. I think they know that all we need to do is put up another 10 million, really. Is it 10 million or 15?
It will probably be another 10.
Another 10 million
in fixed. Yeah.
And then we can get the deal done. I don't think us trying to do other deals affects the West Ham deal. It's not like a thing where they're like, it's not like it's a thing where they're like, oh, we want to milk Arsenal for every penny. They don't have any money left for any other transfers.
I think they know as well we will walk away from a transfer. We're not like a Chelsea where we'll just buy it whatever they say at the end of the day. We walked away from Mudryk. We walked away from loads of other players. We will. I think if it goes too high, we'll walk away from this. Even though I don't want us to, we probably will. I'll be one of them clubs where we're very stubborn. I think that's down to Edu, really.
Caicedo's a done deal. He's going to get announced later today to Chelsea, potentially, saying my guy here. There's going to be a meltdown when Caicedo announces for Chelsea.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Just be prepared for the meltdown. Be prepared. Okay, let's continue. We got here. Rice does not affect the Lavia pursuit. Arsenal are talking to players and Southampton. Interesting. That's it shouldn't because we need two midfielders. That's great. That's great news in my opinion. I'm happy with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
What else is there? Um, we've already spoken about this. Yeah.
We can talk about
Bukayo Saka balled out for us yesterday.
yeah, man, Starboy, bloody unbelievable.
He went yesterday.
We can talk
Yeah.
about Eddie and Balogun, that sort of situation there. What's going to happen with them?
Oh yeah, I seen a tweet about Eddie. Let me just go to it. Before we go to Balogun. Where is it? It's somewhere here. Yeah. So Arsenal are prepared to listen to offers for Eddie and Nketiah. What are you saying?
Yeah, I tweeted about this maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I don't know if you want to get my personal account, but I tweeted up about there being some potential interest in Eddie and Nketiah from clubs like Brentford. I know West Ham were also in for him, and also Crystal Palace. I've heard through the grapevine that they were the 3 clubs that are interested. I know Brentford did a sort of preliminary inquiry about the player. Yeah, so this is very interesting. I think it'll be a sort of a tie between Nketiah or Balogun. I think one of them will probably go. So yeah, it depends what Arteta wants. Also on Balogun as well, it was confirmed to me that he'll be in pre-season, and then there'll be discussion after pre-season regarding what will happen with him and whether he will stay or whether he will go. And it'll be a permanent move this time. It won't be a loan. As we all know, when he's come out publicly and said he doesn't want another loan. So I think if Balogun goes anywhere away from Arsenal, it'll be a permanent deal.
You think? I think Balogun spoke about something, and Fabrizio Romano tweeted it out yesterday. Let me just find that, because I think Fabrizio tweeted what he said about his loan. Is that what you're just talking about?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think that's it. He doesn't want to be loaned out anywhere. He wants a
Doesn't
permanent
want
deal.
To me, I like Balogun.
I do.
I don't mind Eddie also, but the thing is, Balogun does not have any room for negotiation with us. Like, what makes him think he has the right to come in and make demands? Like, if he wants to leave, he can leave. If he wants to stay, he can stay and fight for his place. But really and truly, at this moment in time, he's not in a situation where he can start making demands at Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, no, it's a very bold tactic because, as you know, he's very headstrong and confident in his abilities, and he's not prepared to just sit by and be loaned out, which I think is twofold. Because, as you said, some fans will get frustrated and go, hang on, you haven't proved yourself yet. Why do you deserve a place here? We've got starters here. We've got Jesus, we've got Eddie, who have pretty much proved themselves. What right do you have to come in here? Which I think is true. I mean, I think he just knows his abilities really well, and he's really headstrong in what he wants and his vision. And that's also why he chose.
He said it straight up. He's like, there's a lot of vocals about his future, insisting that he does not want to go out on loan again. And I understand that Arsenal have met schedule with his agent in the next few days, who also shares an agent with Eddie and Nketiah, by the way, if you didn't know. So it's like the agent has a vested interest to have both of them do well. So
yeah,
maybe the best thing to do is a part of ways.
We'll see what happens. I think it'll be really interesting.
I personally think I seen Patrick Timmins tweeted something out, and everyone's basically saying keep Balogun, sell Eddie and Nketiah. I'm a little different. I would sell both, but if we have to keep one, you have to keep the one that's willing to play a backup role.
Fair enough. Yeah.
What about yourself?
I'm a big fan of Balogun. I really don't want to see him leave. I really want to see how he develops at Arsenal. I think Eddie's a great player as well, but I also think I want to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him somewhere else. Like if he goes to West Ham or Brentford, I think that'll be a really great move for him. I think he'll do really well in that role, and I'll actually be really sort of excited to see how he performs there as a starter, and in sort of a sort of like Brentford, like an up and coming team, like performed really well last season and looking to strengthen, and even sort of a West Ham, I think he'll do really well as a starter. So I think it's a tough one. It's literally like you could flip a coin. It is really, really tough decision on who you would pick. I can't decide. They're both top talents, and I really want Balogun to stay though. I think if it's either Eddie or Balogun, I just want to see what Balogun can do. I would keep Balogun in my personal opinion.
You know what, I'm just thinking, regardless what we do, Arsenal fans are gonna have a meltdown.
Yeah, definitely. That's just the way it is, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's just how it is always. You're right. Moving away from that, there was some Ilkay Gundogan news. What was that? Because there was some stuff about Gundogan.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, there's not much has changed. I think he's still sort of mulling over his choices. I think he's the closest to Barcelona, despite there was some news coming out that Man City had officially released him through the Premier League website. Fabrizio came out and said no, they're still pushing for contract talks. I think Man City will obviously want to keep him, but he's got a house in Spain, Gundogan. He's got family ties over there, so I think he'll go to Barcelona. I know Arsenal are of course interested and have made offers for a contract there, but we'll see.
And this is based off of all the articles that I've read. I personally think Arsenal's fourth on the pecking order. Man City's first. Second, you have Barcelona. Then I would say third, you even have Saudi Arabia before Arsenal.
Yeah. It's the money as well.
So with that situation where we're fourth on the pecking order, I never really thought he was going to join Arsenal. But I still, to this day, see people putting him in our Arsenal shirt on Twitter. So
yeah.
Maybe it's hopeful thinking and less logical points.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Definitely.
So right now, those are the main four. From Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, Lavia, and Timber. If I was to put all four of them on the screen for you, how many of them do you think we actually get done before and actually end up being an Arsenal player?
I think it's possible we do all four. I think it's really possible. I think as well with a few sales as well, we could even go again for another position. And it's really promising that we've done all this, the legwork before we've even sold any players. It really sort of tells you our sort of direction and where we want to go. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I think I think we should get all four unless something crazy happens and another team comes in like Man City or Chelsea or another one that want to throw money at it like crazy. But players all across the world want to come to Arsenal. They want to be part of the project. I don't think that's an issue. Personal terms for any player at the moment will be no issue. It's just about the clubs.
Kai Havertz happens. It's just Arsenal want it too much and Chelsea want to sell. If Kai Havertz plays in the 8, I would not be surprised if we tried Felix in a forward position. What? Felix is not coming to Arsenal.
Yeah, there's been no.
I'm confused. Am I misreading his point? If Arsenal play 8-10, would you be surprised if we tried Felix in the forward positions? I don't think we're going to go for Felix, so I don't really know where you're coming from. But even if we did sign Felix, I don't rate Felix. So I don't think... Do you rate Felix?
Not really, no.
And I don't think his value is in the market. He's overvalued by the market, where Havertz, it seems like he's undervalued at this moment in time. Felix, if he's sold from Atletico Madrid, they still want 90 million. They're mental.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not normal. And then, did you have any other articles today? Did you see anything else that speaks to you?
Maybe we could do a quick just Q&A if there's anything in the comments that people want to ask me or you. And then, yeah, I think we've covered everything, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm looking at your Twitter right now. I see the Romeo Lavia 50 million, Declan Rice stuff, Thomas Partey, Timber. I think the Mirror, where John Cross was actually the first person to report the Declan Rice bid. Bukayo Saka, bro, you got to take a second to talk about Saka. Saka's taking his game to another level. Hat-trick yesterday.
Second goal was unbelievable.
I think the first goal is like his signature move nowadays. Just put it in the roof of the net.
Yeah. Just smash it on his weak foot as well. Unreal.
Yeah, he just this is what he does now. Bukayo Saka is taking his game to another level. remind me to double check the poll before we continue. People talking about Partey going to Saudi Arabia. No way, in my opinion. It's not going to happen. Kai Havertz, I think it's going to end up happening. Chelsea's FFP struggles. They don't seem to be worrying about FFP anymore. They always find loopholes. What's going on with this guy? We're not signing him, are we?
No. So from what I know, this is a source close to the player. I've actually reached out directly to try and find out some more information on this. The club, they want, I've been told, a lot of money for the player in sort of 30 to 35 euros, and Arsenal won't go anywhere above 20. And at the moment, we're not in for him. I've been confirmed. We're not in for him at the moment. We won't pursue him, but we'll see what happens.
Arsenal most likely will sell Cedric in the summer. We already know this. Like sometimes the reports, like we're gonna sell Pepe. We know this. I think this was your breaking news. Where was it? What was it?
Trying to get some more insiders. If anyone works at Arsenal or close to Arsenal, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. Trying to always expand my network.
Big up. Where is the Saliba stuff?
Contract stuff. What, in wearing number 2?
How far down is it?
I'm not sure if I retweeted that one, actually. I might have not retweeted from my personal.
Let me check. So yeah, so I just wanted to touch on the Saliba thing. What's going on with Saliba? He's on vacation. He's coming back soon.
So he's coming back today, actually. Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. He should be flying back into London. He'll wear number 2. That was confirmed to me. What's a really reliable source came out just after I posted that and confirmed the number 2 as well, which is good to hear. So yeah, he'll wear number 2 next season, and he should sign it, I'm told, within the week. So within this week, he should be signing things. And also from a source close to the club, this week is going to be very busy, like really busy, incredibly busy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a signing this week, or some sort of contract extension, some media shoots. I know the schedule of a certain someone is very busy.
You don't have to say it. Look, people, do me a favor. Hit that goddamn like button right now. What we're doing for you guys right now at 5:55 on a Tuesday, we're giving you guys all the Arsenal news, so you don't have to go anywhere else to go find it. Do hit that like button. We have 200 people in the chat right now. We only have 55 likes. What are you guys doing? You guys have a worse shooting percentage than Eddie and Nketiah right now. Get that shooting percentage up, and let's get this going. I'm just gonna say this. People keep talking about Edu, Arteta, the transfer window. Is it not normal that we get a lot of our shows later on in the? Isn't it normal that we get most of our transfer stuff done later in the season? Like we don't usually get everything done early.
No, you're right. Yeah, usually we're lateminute.com. Like we remember with Thomas Partey, it was like 2 hours before the deadline, and we literally just heard news that we had triggered his release clause. And like before that, everyone, even Fabrizio, was coming out saying that we weren't going to sign him. In past windows, we've been really late. So I'm pleased, really excited.
Yeah, and people, let me know what you guys are saying. Any questions you guys have in the comment section, we'll answer any questions or comments in the chat. No, I'm not calling Ollie in the know or an ITK.
No,
he's strictly a journalist, and in the rare occasion that he does get something, he fact checks it before he puts it out there. So I haven't seen him ever claim that he knows something that he doesn't know or any of those things. So let's not try to call my guy ITK, right? He's strictly you're what would you call yourself? Would you call yourself an aggregator?
I don't know what I'd call myself. Yeah, I mean Arsenal Inform is aggregator news, and the personal stuff is journalist related. I'm looking to try and expand and do some more news in terms of like other clubs.
There
but
you go.
I need to get more contacts.
Football London, reach out to my guy. If you need more people, definitely. You know what? You could actually apply to Football London directly. But you know what? Let's continue. Big up everyone in the comment section. People saying, Egal answered my question. Big up. People saying, where do you think Arsenal will finish next season? It's too early to tell. There's a lot of transfer news that we need to still get done. I'm not going to say we're going to do this or that yet. 30 million for Kovacic isn't a bargain. What? It isn't? It is a bargain. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, then That's confusing, mate. He's a Man City fan. It's a Man United fan.
Okay, 50 million for Lavia, 100 million for Caicedo. Is Lavia half the player that Caicedo is?
I think he's got the potential of Caicedo.
Would you rather pay 100 million for Caicedo or 50 million for Lavia?
Mate, that's horrible.
Chelsea might be willing to pay 150 for both.
If I had a bottomless pit, I'd get Caicedo. I love Caicedo. I think he's a top player, but I've got to be realistic. So, yeah.
Okay, so if you had unlimited money, you'd get Caicedo. So you're basically saying Caicedo's a better player, but Lavia is a better deal. So you understand?
Yeah, 100%. Nail on the head.
I think if we bought Declan Rice and Caicedo, we could actually move on Partey. But the fact that we're bringing in Lavia and Rice, we need to keep Partey.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Yeah, I think someone that's not proven it fully yet. Yeah, I think if Caicedo had come in, he still could. You never know. These transfer windows is a strange way of working. So yeah, I knew this from the start anyway with Caicedo.
Rate this transfer window, by the way. What would you rate this window? Everyone in the comment section, rate this window out of 10.
What are you rating it? I rate that highly though, but
I'm giving it a. If we keep Partey, I give it an 8. If we lose Partey, I give it a 7.
Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that could go down as one of the best transfer windows of the out of all the clubs in the Premier League this window.
People saying 8. People don't forget to hit the like button. People saying 8 out of 10. People saying C. People saying 10 out of 10. Just for Havertz. Ha ha ha. Chelsea fan, of course. People saying 7 at the moment. Tommy saying 5. What are you saying?
I'd say 7.5. 7.5. I think if Caicedo was in there, I'd say like 8 or 9. Like that's mad. Like Declan Rice and Caicedo at the carpet. That's fucking crazy. Like,
I think Caicedo's over, bro. We gotta give it up. We gotta give up.
I want the dream. Oh, I think it's over too, but
Caicedo's over, man. Caicedo's over. Someone said 4. Wait, you have some crazy expectations.
6? Nah, 6, man.
This is why we wanted Champions League football, to get this type of quality of player. This is the kind of quality of player you need to get Champions League football. People saying instead of Kai Havertz, if we got Caicedo, that wouldn't make sense. Why would we get 3 DMs?
Yeah, it's a good point actually.
It wouldn't make sense.
He's probably not a fan of Havertz, that's why.
Yeah. 6 is still, and the versatility of those players also is massive. I don't know if you follow AFC James, but he was playing Football Manager and he was basically looking at the versatility of all the players we're getting and how many positions they can play. Crazy.
Yeah, I think that's really positive.
I think one of the players that we're looking to sign in what's his face, Timber, can play like every position almost.
What, across the back 4 or just in general?
Across the back 4.
Yeah. I was going to say across the back 4. Yeah, I know he can play the right back, left back role as well.
He can play in the midfield.
Potentially, yeah, as a DM.
It's mental. But yeah, we got 233 of you guys. Do me a favor, hit that goddamn like button. If you guys don't know who Arsenal Informer is, where have you guys been? Do me a favor, go on Twitter right now. Give my guy a follow at Ollie from AI. And of course, if you want to check out his other account is Arsenal Informer on Twitter. He keeps us up to date on all the latest Arsenal transfer news, as we should all know what's going on and what the latest updates are on Arsenal transfer news. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel on YouTube and check out my Twitter on my Twitter account, Eagle Talks Football. As you guys know, I do all my Arsenal stuff on here also, in addition to sometimes occasionally talk about other stuff. And I did recently post a video. Edu is cooking. I changed it. I don't know if I changed the thumbnail or not, or if this is the thumbnail, but let me know, what do you guys think Edu's cooking? I think Edu's cooking something good. I don't know about you, but a lot of people don't like Edu right now. They're very upset with Edu. I think that's very premature, and we're gonna have to get over that because he's been doing a decent job. It could be worse. Like remember when Tottenham won the transfer window last season?
I don't know how they won that transfer window, man.
I tweeted this out yesterday. Look at how bad this was. Perisic, flop. Fraser Foster, probably their best signing. Basuma, flop. Richarlison flop. Jed Spence never kicked the ball. Clement Longley, I don't remember him playing a game, and he's been loaned and he's been sent back. So from that transfer window, they probably regret.
That's not a good window in my eyes now.
They probably regret everything from that window.
Yeah, definitely.
Funny how things work. Our transfer window last season was pretty good, actually. Do you remember our transfer window from last season?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jesus, Zinchenko, other top talents, Kiwior.
I'm just trying to think, like, how many good transfer windows were there last season? Like, I know Chelsea's didn't really work out. Man City didn't really do much, so you can't really count theirs. Who had a big window besides Arsenal?
Trying to think who else. I always thought we were going to do really, really good this season. I had a feeling.
Let me see. People saying he's cooking something like illegal. This was Chelsea's window. Sterling, Koulibaly, a bunch of kids, Cucurella, Fofana. No one really did well. No. The only person they're going to keep long term is probably Fofana. Everyone else is young.
Cucurella was a stinky flop, man.
What about what? Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Zachariah on loan. Aubameyang.
Oh yeah.
This was Tottenham's. This was Liverpool's. Who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, I don't know. Nunes, yeah.
Calvin Ramsey.
Arthur Melo.
Arthur Melo. Oh, you know what? Man. We dodged the bullet. We almost signed.
Yeah, I know, man.
This was theirs. Their window was amazing. Haaland, Alvarez, Ortega, Phillips, Gomez, and Akanji. The only flop they had was Gomez and Phillips, I guess. Man United. Who did they sign?
Oh, Anthony. Oh, but that's quite a good winner. Anthony Martinez.
Casemiro. It was low risk, but he didn't work out. Dubravka was a failure. Anthony wasn't worth the money, but he's okay. Lautaro Martinez and Casemiro massively worked out, and Eriksen was amazing free transfer. This was our window. I'm not gonna lie, Marquinhos a flop.
I don't want to slay, but we'll see what happens.
I don't think he's gonna live up to the billing. Norwich fans were making fun of him, for God's sakes. And then is that it? Is that every club? Yeah, that's every club, right?
I think so.
Wait, there's more. No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So Manchester United, City, Chelsea.
City had a good window.
Everyone except for City had a shit window, in my opinion. Even Arsenal, our window wasn't amazing.
No, I think the impact of Zinchenko and Jesus is probably the best. Vieira, Marquinhos, and Turner.
When you really think about it, our window last year was literally 2 players that benefited the first team.
Wait, if you add them all up, that's not 100 mil, is it? If you got to think about it, we're about to drop 100 mil on a player. Was that our whole window last season? I can't remember how much we spent.
This is what we spent. It was more than 100 million because
just above 100. Yeah,
we spent like 100 and I would say, what is that, 30?
20, yeah, 20, 30, yeah.
130, because don't forget Matt Turner's 8, so you put the 8, that's basically 40 plus Matt Turner and Zinchenko's 40, that's 85. That's 85, just these 3, and then you add 30, so that's what?
Math lessons for Miguel.
You're at 100. You're at 113 million. 85 plus 30. Yeah, so you're looking at 118 million. 118 million. That's what we spent.
Now we're looking to drop something similar on just one player. Big moves.
Bro, that is true. We're spending more money on Declan Rice than we basically spent the whole entire transfer window last year.
Huge moves, man. It's what I'm saying. People need to bear in mind that we're doing big things.
Like Manchester United, we're spending more money than them this summer. If we go and get Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, who last summer we looked at City, they don't spend money at all. This is just, how do they get these deals so cheap? Liverpool, you got to feel sorry for them. They don't spend money at all either.
No, that's not a lot.
Tottenham, I thought Tottenham won the window, but they didn't spend money at all either. Look at that.
Not even oh yeah. just below 100 as well. A lot of free transfers.
Chelsea spent a lot of money, but like really and truly, we might spend more than them.
I'll add that all up. Yeah, probably.
Because
we won't spend more than their January window, though. That's for sure.
Cucurella and Fofana and this guy together is going to be the equivalent of Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Then how much are we going to spend on Fofana? That's the Raheem Sterling money. And then what's the remaining signing?
Lavia.
Lavia and Timber is going to be what? Another 100 million. So potentially 300 million this window. No, 250.
Wait, 50.
It's going to be like 250 potentially.
Yeah.
250 or 260? What do you think?
250.
Because Lavia is 50.
50.
Timber is 50. 60 for a thing and 100. So that's 260. Yeah. 260 million potentially for 4 players.
It's a lot of money.
So it is. It's crazy.
It's good though. It's
definitely good because we're going in the right direction. But yeah, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. We're out of here. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. Egal, that was a crap window. Yeah, that was definitely a crap window from Tottenham. And yeah, we're out of here. Yeah, some people are just delusional to think that we're gonna get everybody we want. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, we're out of here, people. You guys have yourself a great day. Arsenal Informer, great as always. Big up to you. And we're out of here, people. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit that goddamn like button on the way out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if there's any major news, do check out Arsenal Informer's Twitter account. And don't forget to check out Eagle Talk Football. And of course, my TikTok, Twitter, and everything else. The links are right there. But yeah, we're out of here, people. Peace.